Hello and welcome. It's The Chat. I am Manny. My guest really needs no introduction. If you were a child growing up in the 70s, 80s, and the 90s, or if you were an adult, you would have encountered this man with a baritone voice and big and cheerful eyes, who will be telling you stories with some songs that'll keep you spellbound.
Jimmy Sholanke is an internationally revered storyteller, music composer, cultural engineer, stage actor, voiceover artist, program presenter, and development consultant. Born on the 4th of July 1942 in Lagos, Jimmy attended Ologbowo Methodist School, the National High School in Lagos, and the University of Ibadan, where he obtained a certificate in theatre arts. His love for the arts would eventually direct the course of his life. After school, Jimmy joined his uncle in Ibadan as an assistant engineer at Caxton Press, Ibadan, but was quickly distracted as he was constantly spotted in entertainment centers, clubs, and pubs. During this time, he quickly developed a strong bond for theatre performances, having been mentored by the likes of Wole Soyinka, Olarotimi, and in music by Freddie Okonta and others. This became a way of life for him as he became drawn to the arts. He composed his first musical piece, Onile Gogoro, in 1966. He was the lead voice in Ralph MacDonald's The Path, recorded in New York in 1977, and was a lead director of arts during the Second World Black and African Nigerians Festival of Arts and Culture, Festac 77. Another aspect of Jimmy is his love to tell tales to children. He has created and presented countless folklore, wrapped in engaging stories, presented on television for years. He also played a lead role in the production and presentation of Family Scene on LTV8, Storyland on NTA, African Stories on AIT, and Fun Space on Galaxy TV. This won him many laurels. His influence in the arts industry transcends Nigeria's borders. Jimmy was a theater consultant for the United Nations Children Education Fund, UNICEF, a director of training and workshop in women and children's health for the United Nations Fund for Population Activities, UNFPA. For his remarkable determination to promote the African culture through storytelling, he was made the director of African Review at the University of California, Los Angeles. He is also an associate fellow of the Institute of Cultural Studies of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Jimmy Sholanke is currently the artistic director of Center for Creative and Performing Arts Enhancements, Ogun State. He is married with children.
Hello, Jimmy.
Hey, Manny.
How are you?
I'm fine, Manny.
I can hear it. I can see it. Where did you grow up?
Lagos, Ologbowo area.
Oh.
And the house was number 7 Griffin Street.
Is that place still in existence?
Yes, the place is still there.
I know, Jimmy, that's your voice is God's gift. But how did you develop that voice?
At a point, I didn't even know the worth of the talent I had. But as I was earning laurels in the church choir and in the school, even in the secondary school, we decided to have a band. We set up a band. We called it Koroba. And because we were using bottles and pails to create music, Kororo Karara Kororo. And that impact was when I wrote the song Oromare Ara Adugbo. I wrote it in the secondary school in Odogbolu.
What influenced your writing the song?
Because of the hairstyles of our mommies in those days. And in fact, by the time Chicago recorded it, I was still in school. About 3 or 4 songs were recorded by them from me. They recorded Ọ̀rẹ́ Ti Tán, Ọ̀rẹ́ Kò Sí Mọ́ Láyé, Ọ̀rẹ́ Ti Tán, and they recorded Khaki No Be Leather.
Eventually, I mean, you got into drama and, obviously performing arts. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Okay. When I was even doing all this, my late father was not my friend at all. How can one boy? Well, how can one boy I want to become an engineer be interested in this night crawling and all these singing at nightclub and all these? So eventually he won.
How did he win?
He got his cousin, Chief MS Sholanke, who was then the commissioner for Western region in London. He was the one who brought all these industries into Nigeria for Western region and got me to be an apprentice engineer there. So they allowed me to leave Lagos and sent me to him in Ibadan. That's where I want to, because I was free now. I was free, I was on my own, no holds, nobody holding me down. And majority of the time, my uncle was not always in Ibadan. So I had a fine home to stay. Every evening I would end up at the Paradise Club and Independence Club with Orlando, Julius, Eddie Okuta, all of them. I mean, I didn't care after some months that I was getting used to this bands thing. I didn't care anything about the job again. And when my uncle came back from wherever he went and they said, that your man, that your apprentice is not coming to work anymore. So he just called me and said, look, since you are not interested in doing that job, you cannot stay in my house. That's where I was signed to my freedom.
So you were kicked out of the house that early?
Yes. So I was on my own.
And what did you have to do?
I started taking singing jobs, with Orlando Julius, with there was a Western Region band that was led by Victor Faulkner. Then later, we started playing where my uncle was special guest and special parties for commissioners, for governor.
Jimmy, I know that you made a claim that you were the first rapper in the world.
Yes.
What do you mean by that? You are the first person ever to do rap songs.
After 1977 Festac and all that, I was so, as all those people were leaving Nigeria, I decided, let me have a holiday, because there was so much money hanging around. Even in my bag as I was standing, each and every time there was money, dollar, pounds, everything in one bag that I used to carry.
Did you know the value then?
What's value in those days? Nearly 1 naira was more than $1. Can you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
77, 1 naira was more than, was about 68 or 78 to $1.
So what did you do?
I just booked, got an aircraft and I just stuck in London. From London, I said London, New York, got to New York, and it was very bad winter. And they were looking for somebody to put word into a music for Ralph McDonald. So they took me to his office, and he gave me the English version of the words he wanted Yoruba, which was what I could do. So when he gave me the words, I translated it into Yoruba. Onola ayélujára, ọ̀nàtìlà àárín odò rèé kọjá, ẹ̀rù òbodò, odò ti ṣàn 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 ṣàn, ẹ̀kún omi ṣàn títí ó já sí àárín ọ̀nà. Odò lòun lẹ̀gbọ́n, ọ̀nà lòun lẹ̀gbọ́n. A ti rìn, a kò rí ẹni sọ fún wa bóyá ọ̀nà ni o tàbí odò ni o. Odò láyé ẹ̀rù odò. Ọjọ́ ti pẹ́ tí Olódùmarè ọba adẹ́dà tó dá odò, tó dá ọ̀nà, tó dá òkè sílẹ̀ ayé, odò láyé, omi lè nìyàn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe rere o. Àrùn òbodò. Yes.
So you think you were a one-man band at that stage, and you were the first ever one-man band?
That was the first speak over rhythm. That's all rap is all about.
Okay, so when you went to the US, the United States, you also gathered. Was that where you developed that skill to do some storytelling?
I've been telling stories before I left Nigeria.
So what kind of stories were you telling at that stage?
The same traditional stories that we take lessons and morals from. Luka luku ewúrẹ́, Luka luku, and the story goes, one woman did that. But when other people were promising the Iroko tree, a goat, a ram, she promised the Iroko tree, her only son. Olurombio, join, Iroko, join. And at the same time, we just tell them, join, Iroko. And in no time, they will pick up the chorus, and we've had a field day doing that.
How did the people react to your music at that time?
That's the reason why I went up to set up African Review. The Los Angeles school district officer, they gave, I still have the file in my house.
Which was the most memorable place you performed in the United States?
The reopening of Apollo Theater, that is still there till date. We did it in April 1978, I think. Yes, 78. Check it. I'm correct.
But then that means you had played and performed at the Festac 77 before you traveled.
Oh, yeah.
How was your performance at Festac, and what did you see of Festac?
Festac was that coming together of great artistic minds. I don't believe it can ever happen again, because nobody else can afford to put Festac together again. The scope at which Nigeria took it, that's why we still have Festac Village, a national theater that we are finding who to take care of it. Festac somewhere, Festac building, that the house is just like that. What other country can equal that kind of attempt by Nigeria?
Was it the money you're talking about, or the event itself?
The event itself, I don't believe any other country can get to that level. The amount of people, the amount of performances, the amount of welcoming, the amount of...
For you, what was the most interesting thing about Festac?
Everything about Festac was interesting.
What inspires you to perform?
The attitude of, there's a Yoruba something, ọ̀rẹ́ mi ọjọ́ ń lọ, èyí tó o bá ṣe làwòrò yìí, ṣe èyí tó o ṣe ọ̀rẹ́ mi ọjọ́ ń lọ. Which simply means, hey man, when you have the opportunity to hold the mic to entertain people, do the best you can do, because it is what you have done that will be reported, that will be spoken about, that people will talk about, that people will about.
Pick a question.
Question number 4. Tell a story about Nigerian situation today to compare it as you used to know it. Okay. A long time ago, there was this little boy living in a country where the capital of the country was where he was born. In a beautiful, fanciful, clean hospital. And he grew as the country grows. He kept looking at things around him. He kept wondering what was happening. At a point, he was able to play in the gutters. But it came to a point that he could not even go near some gutters again. All the gutters were all muddled, all messy with green, sooty waters. And this boy grew, and the country was growing up to a point that without even thinking of it, there was war. War between ethnic groupings. Started from their high ranking of a military junta. At the end of those time, lives were lost, houses were lost, situation got worse. But at the end of the day, they stopped the war. And after the war, you can imagine it was not good. When they even say good morning to each other, and we will say, what's good about it? And finally, they picked up the pieces again, glued it, and then they were going. But they got to a point, where greed. Some portion just wanted everything. And see all the other people were getting so hungry. They were getting so hungry that they were angry. Hunger, definitely will be anger. All I can pray is that this country I'm talking about, the good Lord will have his hand into it. Like those who are angry, to feed all those who are hungry, and bring peace back on the land. That is the end of my story.
You are such a master of storytelling, Jimmy. You know what? We did this without rehearsal, and you have come out so but what are you trying to say to so many people who maybe did not get a grasp of your poetry?
Is that as a child, I loved Nigeria. I would take the train and go to Kaduna. It was safe. But nowadays, I don't know why. I can't even travel between Ibadan and Lagos and feel safe. As a child, I would single-handedly, me and my guitar, I would go into go into forest and sit down there. I want to enjoy myself, begin to serenade the animals. Who dares that now? I can sleep. When I go to my hometown those days, I can sleep in a place now where they buried my father. That place is pretty good wind. I dare not do it now. That's why I'm praying that God brings peace into my nation.
Well then, that is with a sense of hope, Jimmy. Obviously, you at this stage of your life, you need just peace and harmony all around you. In spite of all you have done traditionally and culturally, you have not taken up a title. Why?
I hate titles.
Really?
I hate titles.
Can you tell me why?
In fact, there are about 3 or 4 kings that have offered me a title, that I refuse. All these cannot add to my position in life.
Five important things that will keep you company for that period that you're going to be on the island. What are they?
Well, if you are going to leave me in that island or send me to that island, first, I must, every day when an old man is getting older, he needs to be hydrated. I will take, at least for 1 week, I will take a good size container of lager.
Lager?
Yes, lager.
Okay.
Yeah, because I use it to hydrate easily. That's one.
Yeah.
I must have, our Gary is in my bag. I just brought Ijebu Gary from Ijebu to Lagos. I must have Gary. Yeah. Well, if that's all I have.
That's 2. So there are 3 more items now.
I must have fish. The kind of fish shower, the one that they smoked.
Okay.
But even if there's no Gary, I can live on shower for bananas.
Fruits. Is that the only fruit you take?
Pineapple, pawpaw, banana.
Okay.
But fruit, that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remains 1.
Yeah.
What else would I need? That is very important.
So what's the last one? What's the last item you take with you?
What I know that is very good medicinal and all that, a bag of bitter cola.
Is there anything you'd like to add to your life now, Jimmy?
Just the project I'm working on. Once it starts to run, and then the stage 1 is up, stage 2.
So when it's time to go, you will go?
Yes.
And how would you like to be remembered?
Is an entertainer, complete entertainer who has come and has conquered. And he's tired now. Let him go.
Jimmy Sholanke, it's been nice talking with you.
Thank you very much. Same here.
Thank you so much for your contributions. And that's been my guest on the program this week. He is Jimmy Sholanke, the master storyteller. I am Manny. It's been The Chat. See you next week.